Good morning, BSR Nation. I hope you're having a fabulous morning because I am. This is an awesome day. It's cool. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's cool down here. I'm able to wear my trusty sweater. I like to come outside when it's cold in this sweater here. So I'm happy that I can wear it. I love sweaters. Thomas is here. He's off today. He's off from the job, but he's not off from working because he's working but doing a different kind of work. Right here at Everland. That's him right there. He's trimming up the bushes, keeping everything good. He takes good care of this land. I'm really happy for it. I'm very grateful. I'm really grateful that he takes care of it because it's a lot of work to do. I want to show you something. Some days ago, I showed you these sweet potato plants. They're called starts. And I showed you how I just broke them off of the sweet potatoes. I stuck them in the soil. And I believe it was it's been less than 10 days. And look what has happened. You see that? See, it works. I love doing experiments that I hear about. So yeah, if you start some sweet potatoes, or if you see that your potatoes have started to grow in your pantry, you can just break off that new growth, break those vines off, stick them in the soil, and voila, you have new sweet potato plants. And if you can recall, I was telling you that every bit of the sweet potato is edible. So you start growing these. I really believe if you start growing these, whether you're doing it in pots, planters, if you have an apartment, or if you're living in a rooming house or whatever, you start growing this as a plant and it can serve two purposes. It's beautiful, as you can see, and it's edible. Yes. And pretty soon, all of this will be as full as the fish mint that I showed you the other day. I don't believe in buying any plants or planting anything down here at Everland that is not edible. See? Pretty soon, all of those sweet potatoes will be like this. Now, all of this is going to die. It's going to die back. It does it every year. So as the temperatures drop and it gets cooler or cold, all this will die back. And also this mint right here. In fact, if you see that's called going to seed. When your plants and your vegetables start getting flowers on them, that means they're going to seed. And it's okay, because when your plants do that, that means you do not have to worry. Those seeds are going to drop right into the soil and they're going to germinate again the following season. So you'll never be without. But what I was about to say is that I believe a sweet potato plant, I'll have to look it up, or if some of you know, if you know better, please comment below and tell me. I believe a sweet potato is a cool weather plant. I know that a collard green it's a cool weather plant. So my thoughts are, as the temperatures drop, I don't believe that this will die back. And then these are container plants, so I'm not worried, because as the temperatures drop, I won't let these stay out here below freezing. I'll take them inside, or I'll just cover them up with a tarp or something. But they're doing good. Can't wait to eat them. So something else I wanted to talk to you about, and that is, it's called knowing what game it is. Some of you don't know this about me and Thomas, but we are coaches. We have a program called Any Sport, and we ran it and operated it for many years. It's a youth sports and leadership program. So we're both certified coaches. I'm a cheer coach, cheer and cheer dance, certified, real, licensed. Thomas, he coaches basketball and football and baseball. There he is. And any sport, because if there's a sport that any child, any youth would like to learn, and we're not professionals or experts in that area, we just go out and find an expert and bring them in and allow that expert to train those youth and to train us too. That's how I learned martial arts. I didn't teach it myself. I didn't teach it to myself. And I could learn off of YouTube, but I didn't because I wasn't that technical savvy. But I learned from the experts, and that's how I know self-defense. Anyway, let's go back to what I'm talking about, and that topic is knowing what game it is before you enter the arena. Knowing what game it is before you enter the arena. And that has to do with also being prepared. If you know what's going on, you know how to prepare. Or if you don't know how, you can ask someone, you can train. You can learn. You can always learn to prepare if you know what game it is. All right? Even in the world, even in our economy, in your own environment. Look around, figure out what game is being played, start preparing. Prepare for it now. Like right now, we know this game. We've seen it before. We know the experts are talking about a new housing crisis that is upon us and an economic downfall that is happening right now. It has to do with inflation and high skyrocketing prices at every level. So it's up to us guys to prepare for it right now. What can we do? Well, some of the things I'm showing you are things that I've learned to do, like starting to grow your own food. Grow your food, number one. Number two, start buying food while you can and put away sustainable items that you actually would want to have if you can't go out and get them. Start putting away food. Think about energy. Think about what you would do if you don't have electricity for a period of time. I like to tell everyone to do something about solar energy. Get yourself some solar panels. Get something. Get yourself some solar lights. If your lights go out, you don't have to sit up in the dark and look crazy. Well, you will be looking crazy if you've heard me tell you this and you don't do it. You see, that because that means that you've heard the advice and you ignored it. So have yourself prepared. Know what game it is before you enter the arena. Now, we're already in the arena because we're here. You woke up this morning, you're already in the game. So, as a coach, I would say, running around blindly like you don't know what's going on, having no awareness, that's like showing up on the basketball court in football equipment. You see? Isn't that crazy? That means that person was unaware, they were a little, very confused, and they just jumped up and put on the wrong equipment. So can they play basketball? No, they cannot. If they can't play, guess what they can't do? They can't win. If you're not prepared for this game, you won't win. I'm not going to say probably. So prepare yourself right now. And that's what we're talking about. I love preparation. I love being prepared. I grew up military, and most of the military parents We're preppers, and we just grew up as though we were the troops also, watching that, growing up that way. I wrote a book. I haven't released it. I wrote it some years ago, but the time was not quite, it wasn't quite the right time to release the book. So I'll be releasing it, make some changes in it, and then I'll release it. It's a published book, it's copywritten, but it's called EATE, and it's an acronym. I'll tell you what the first word, EATE, stands for. And it's spelled EATE. There's an extra E on the end, and I'll tell you why, even though it's not grammatically correct. The extra E is for expand, but the whole thing goes like this: evolve, adapt, transform, expand. And what do I mean by that? Well, I talked about rabbit holes in life a couple of times. A rabbit hole is a circumstance that you do not prefer, and it can destroy you if you don't know how to handle yourself when you encounter these rabbit holes. So the first thing I found, if you fall into a rabbit hole in life, the first thing you should do is evolve. You have to allow yourself to evolve. That means change fast so that you can handle this new environment, this new situation. The next is the letter A. It stands for adapt. You have to adapt quickly to what's going on, because if you cannot make that change and adapt, that's like on the basketball court, and you got the ball and you're running down to make that basket, and you see the other team coming, and they've set a screen, and you see the screen coming, and you don't adapt, you don't change your strategy, you run right into it and lose the ball or make a foul or something. You have to adapt. Okay? Be willing to adapt to what is going on. The T stands for transform. When you're going through things in life, allow yourself to transform. And when I say transform, allow yourself to transform into a higher, better version of yourself. Okay? Because if you don't, you're going to transform anyway into a lower version and become destroyed by what is going on in your environment and your circumstances. And last but not least, the additional E on the end of the word EAT stands for expand. If you do the first three in this acronym, evolve, adapt, and transform, you will make a change. Your whole environment will change, and you will definitely get out of the rabbit hole. Once you get out of that situation and those circumstances are different for you, more preferable, expand. And what I mean by that, keep doing it. Keep going. Keep going to put a chasm between you and where you are now and where you were then. And that way you'll never find yourself back in that same rabbit hole in life. You move on continuously to more preferable experiences and a more preferable set of circumstances. Well, there you have it, guys. Evolve, adapt, transform, and expand. That's the first part of EATE. And know what game it is before you enter the arena. Be prepared, know the rules of the game, and persevere, and you will win. Well, that's all for today. And you know how we end all of our chats. I am beautiful. I am awesome. I mean, I am beautiful. I am worthy. I am awesome. And God never changes. And I am blessed.